Welcome to Real Estate Talk, where we're tackling your questions about real estate. Today's question is now a good time to buy a house?
Let's set the stage, Joe. Before we get to that answer, we should note that we're in the tail end of the first quarter of 2025 at the time of this filming. So is now a good time, Joe?
Yeah, that's really important too, because it does change. That is one of the reasons we can keep revisiting this question too. And the answer is pretty similar, but it depends, of course, on your situation. But if you have the means to buy a house, now's a great time to buy a house. So let's unpack that a little bit and just talk about why that might be. So mortgage rates are still high. We're recording this episode, like you said, right now it's actually Friday, March 7th. So let's get even more specific there. Yeah. And the current rate, Courtney, is 6.6%. And so, this is a little bit coming off of a strong jobs report in January. We actually had a little bit more jobs numbers, some more jobs numbers this morning, which didn't really change much. So Courtney, crystal ball here, probably we're expecting rates not to change too much, where it's going to be around 6.5% to 7% this year. Yeah. And like we talked about previously, mortgage rate fluctuations are really important to this question because they directly translate into monthly housing costs.
Yeah. And just in the last week, we've gotten a little bit of relief from a rate perspective, and it really did excite a lot of buyers. So I'm going to take the math today, Joe, for you. Let's kind of put it in perspective. So if you make a 20% down payment on $750,000, your interest rate, let's say it creeps up to 6.95%. Your monthly payment would be around $5,053 a month, and that includes taxes and insurance. Okay, if we drop that rate to 6%, the monthly payment would be around $4,679 a month. That's $374 of savings per month, $4,488 in savings for the entire year. And over a 30-year fixed loan, it's a savings of $134,640 over that span of that loan term. So we're going to link a mortgage calculator in the description of this episode so you can see how your payment would be affected at differing mortgage rates.
All right, Courtney, in real talk here, a lot of buyers in the past year or two have really been scared off by those mortgage rates that have been around 7% and 8%. Yeah. And so this is why that matters, because I think we've reached this tipping point with buyers, right, where they're getting restless, and maybe 7% has become the new normal for a mortgage rate. So we are seeing them come off the sidelines in this market. And the longer you wait, the more competition you're going to see for inventory.
For sure. And let's just talk about home prices, right? Because if you're waiting for the perfect rate, we have to look at historically what are home prices doing. So the median U.S. home price right now is currently $427,700. That's actually up 6.3% from just a year ago. Okay. We do expect prices to continue to rise this year. So if you do have the means, it absolutely is a good time to buy before prices go up. We haven't even hit kind of spring busy season yet. So I think that's important to consider. I'm speaking generally, in every market, there will be pockets here and there where there might be some more affordable options or less affordable options. Something that I don't hear many people talk about is the options of buying a home that needs a little bit of work compared to something that's more move-in ready. So if you are very price conscious right now, that might be another option. And if you have the means, oftentimes the more distressed the home, the greater the opportunity to add value and grow equity. I know you like that.
I do. And this is always the time of year too, Courtney, that I love jumping into mortgage calculators and affordability calculators. We have great tools too. But you mentioned the spring selling season. This is like, you and I get excited around this time of year. This is almost like our Super Bowl. And so, this is about personal circumstances. We've talked about this many times before, but think about, can you afford to buy a house? Does renting make more sense to you? We've covered renting in previous episodes too. Great option for a lot of folks. How will that monthly mortgage payment, once you narrow it down to that, how will it affect your day-to-day lifestyle? Just really take a hard look at that. And if you are buying, do you plan to stay in this house for several years? You might not always know the answer to that exactly, but you might. We work with buyers all the time, Courtney, that have a pretty good sense of, oh, this is going to be the house I want to stay in for 10, 20 years, or this is my forever house. We hear that term a lot. It doesn't always end up being the case, but you have this idea, and it is helpful to plan, especially when there's a lot of rate fluctuation there. If you thought you were going to stay in a property for more than 5 and 10 years, maybe the fact that rates are a little bit higher, you can be at ease with that a little bit because you think that at some point, whenever that is, it might go down and you can refinance. So that's why that 10-year question, I think, is so important. And then really just lifestyle preferences. There's a responsibility that comes with home ownership. Do you want to take on those responsibilities?
In a class that I held with some agents earlier this week, I had to remind them, like, as we're painting pictures for somebody that's considering buying, it's like we all need someplace to live. So we're either paying 100% interest by renting, or we're paying where we're at today, 6.6% interest, right? I'd rather pay 6.6 than 100% all day. So I appreciate these gems, Joe.
Yeah, one more thing too, Courtney, is just like I think one of the reasons we want to record this again too on this topic is around the idea of trying to time the market, which of course you can't do. But what we do know is that waiting for rates to fall will lead to increased competition. And again, this is just what we're already seeing in the market too. So that's why we really wanted to flag that this is a really good time. You would be with the in crowd that's getting into the market for 2025.
100%. You guys, will be back with another episode with tips to help you navigate this wonderful world of real estate. Let us know in the comments what questions you'd like us to tackle, and make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot of great content coming up for you. We will see you later.